Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Jasmy update. Now, in our very last update here on the Jasmy price chart, we were looking at this structure here from a shorter time frame perspective, and we were actually looking for a pullback in the immediate short term right here on the Jasmy price chart. We also looked at the price chart from a bigger time frame perspective, and there were some interesting things that we were actually looking at right here, right? So let's go back to the shorter time frame perspective and try to get into today's content. We want to figure out what exactly is the price chart communicating with us right here in the very immediate short term, right? So for that, I'll go to a lower time frame right here. I'm going to pick the 4-hourly time frame because there are some things that are actually happening right here, right? So let's quickly begin right here with these earlier 12 counts that we have on the Jasmy price chart. You can say that right here, this is your wave one, this is your wave one right here, right? Your wave two back on support right here, then this is your wave three, which is usually the longest one, right? Wave four, and then finally you have your wave five right here. So the bad news right here is somewhere around this area here probably be the place the Jasmy price that was going to stop, which would have been obvious really, because if you remember, we were looking at this place right here as a resistance, and the ultimate resistance was somewhere right here around 0.006 or something like that. So it was really expected to have something like, you know, a cool off right around the zone right here on the Jasmy price chart, right? So usually what happens with these wave counts right here, 1 2 3 4 5 to the upside, you usually have your ABC correction right here. Now this is the tricky part, because you really cannot determine where the ABC correction is gonna go or how it's gonna play out, right? So ideally you would have something like a ABC correction right here, right? But there are many places that it can come down to, and if I would make a wild guess right here, I would go ahead and use my fib retracement tool, and then I would go from the very bottom right here to the very top of the move here, and the usual suspect right here is the 0.618 fib retracement level right here, right? So this is where the chart usually comes back to, and when you actually look left, you can actually see that there is confluence right here, because you can see that, yeah, it's an area of interest. So this is actually very difficult to try and call how the ABC is going to play out right here, because you can also have a scenario where you come all the way down to the 0.618 fib retracement level right here, and then you come all the way down right here into your major support right here, right? But it should still be an ABC correction, because here the rule is like your wave two, if this is your wave one right here, your wave two should just not to trace below wave one right here, so you can as well come all the way down right here. But the usual suspects, as I mentioned already, is for your ABC correction to come all the way down to the 0.618 fib retracement level. In this case right here, it will be right at 0.004 right about there, right? So that's your 0.618 fib retracement level, the usual suspect there, right? So difficult to call how the ABC is gonna play out right here. But taking a look at the RSI right here, let me go ahead and clear the chart so that it becomes a little bit less messy right here, right? So taking a look at the RSI right here, we can actually see some, you know, bearish divergence right here. It's obviously not the nicest thing that you want to see here, because you can see a downtrend in the RSI right here, yet you've got an uptrend right here in the price chart right here. So you've got, you know, two tops at the very top, right? Higher high, and then you've got lower lows right here in the RSI. This is bearish divergence right there. And let's go to a shorter time frame right here to see if there is something that is much more bearish there, right? So on a 2-hourly time frame right here, we could say that we are forming something like, you know, a rising wedge here. Not really clear on the top right there, but if we could actually go ahead and clear our biases, we'll flip this chart right here so that we can see things from a different side, right? So I've gone on to flip the chart right here, and you can see that we have this falling wedge right here. So in this case, it would have been bullish, and you'd be expecting something like a breakout here to the upside. Let me quickly use my brush so that you can visualize here. So maybe you have something like this there, right? And then you play around, finally maybe you have a breakout, but usually your price target, the technical price target, is usually the bottom of the wedge right here, right? Well, I mean, this is in the case of something of a flipped chart right here, right? If we could actually go back to the normal chart right here, let me quickly show you that. Now on the normal price chart, you can actually start visualizing how bearish this pattern is right here, right? So this is the price chart. Basically in the immediate short term, I'm expecting a pullback, maybe all the way down to 0.004 right around there, right? But I mean, that doesn't mean that I'm bearish on Jasmy all in all right here, because as I showed you right here, for the last 5 months, really, we've actually been monitoring this falling wedge right here, bullish pattern, 66% success rate to go ahead and reach the price target right here. I have no doubt right here. Obviously, I mean, nothing is guaranteed in technical analysis, but I think this is really bullish for the Jasmy price chart right here. Our price tag is, as always, 4 cents, 4.5 cents right here, 9 to 11 cents right there. That's really good. As I mentioned in the last video, I was saying that the market dynamics have actually changed, because when you take a look at the RSI right here, for more than a year, the RSI has been failing to get above 50, but this time around we broke above 50 nice and easy, and we were having like a major breakout right in that moment right here. So this is something that really has me excited here on the Jasmy price. Now I also showed you the Bitcoin price and why I was really excited about this price section here. Well, as you can see, in the immediate short term, we're actually running into major resistance right here. So I mean, this right here is a perfect Wyckoff accumulation structure in my own opinion, because you can see your preliminary support right here, your selling climax, your auto rally, secondary test right here, as well as a creek, and then finally you have your spring moment. So I mean, the spring moment has actually been done, but usually with these Wyckoff accumulation structures, you just don't get above the trading bench like that, right? You actually would expect something, you know, like a little bit of coming back to the support levels right here, right? And then of course come out in a sign of strength or something like that, finally going to where we are expecting the Bitcoin price to be going. So right around this period right here, when the Bitcoin price is just cooling off a little bit, I expect the Jasmy price to be doing the same, really, because I mean they are really correlated, directly correlated. So in the immediate short term, my point is we could see downtrend right here on the Jasmy price. That doesn't necessarily mean that Jasmy is a bad coin or something like that, but this is how usually markets work. I mean, after rising something like 120% in a matter of a few weeks, actually the normal thing or the natural thing to do for the price that is to cool off a little bit. Obviously I could be wrong and something could just happen all of a sudden here on the Bitcoin price set, and it could change literally everything that I've said right here. So please take everything right here with a grain of salt. Well, I mean, this is just my own opinion, and if you like the content, please don't forget to like the video, share the video with your friends and family, and always subscribe to the channel. I would love to see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.